Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport, and we have some movement in the drivers market. So Oscar Piastri is going to be debuting for Alpine in 2023, which if you watch my predicting the 2023 grid video, you'll know that I've now got the Alpine team correct. It is going to be Ocon and Piastri, so that's a green tick. So what happens to Alonso? Well, he signed for Aston Martin. So that team I got wrong because I said Vettel and Drugovich. I don't think that's going to be very likely now. I think it will be Alonso and Stroll, which is a bit disappointing. And I've seen news articles saying that this is the best deal for every party involved. That Alonso is an upgrade on Sebastian Vettel. He might be, but it's the slightest upgrade. And yes, Aston Martin are very, very ambitious. Lawrence Stroll has been spending crazy amounts of money trying to get that team to the top of the field. They've built state-of-the-art facilities. They've poached big talent for behind the scenes. And the clear objective is to become a front-running team, which I know would appeal to Fernando Alonso. But at the same time, even though I like Sebastian Vettel, I was quite happy to see him retire because he has been around a long time and he hasn't been performing like the Sebastian Vettel of old. And so he is kind of just taking up a seat on the grid, even though I know his experience helps a team to be built around him. But I think he could do that in the background. Same goes for Alonso. I don't think he needs a Formula 1 seat. And it's clearly a case of he is very addicted to Formula 1, which I'm sure is the case for every driver there. But 2023 will be... It's 22 years since he made his debut. That is an insane amount of time. Much like Kimi Räikkönen as well, he was there a very long time and eventually retired. Alonso is going to overtake him this year for race starts. And you know, that record stood for a long time. With Riccardo Patrese had it from I think 93 till about, I'm not actually sure, was it like 2010, 2011? When Barrichello overtook him. 10 years later, Raikkonen overtakes Barrichello, and it doesn't even last a year because Alonso is going to overtake him. And I do think that Alonso, when he does eventually retire, which will probably be about 2051, he will have just an unattainable record of race starts in Formula 1. But I do think it shows that these teams are very reliant on these older drivers who are very experienced. But it does mean younger stars don't get a chance in Formula 1. I'm very happy for Oscar Piastri because clearly he is very, very talented. He has all the makings of a star. Whether Alpine can get him to that level, that's to be seen. And I'm sure what frustrates Alonso is that even though it's a team he obviously has a lot of links with, Alpine have never hit the front of the field in his time there. Which I don't know if that was promised to him or there was talk of it. It's never looked likely. And with Aston Martin making a lot of noise in terms of moving forward, I'm sure it is an attractive proposition to a two-time champion. But it has been 16 years since he was champion. That was a long, long time ago. I'm not sure what Fernando Alonso can do in an Aston Martin. Where they are now, Alpine is slightly ahead of them in terms of performance. I'm sure that could easily change in the next few years. But I think it's going to be a while before we see them hit the front. And is Fernando Alonso really going to stick around long enough to see it? Because, you know, another couple of years and it's like he's been there 23 years, 24 years, 25 years. Do you really want a career that long in Formula 1? And I know he's gone off and done other things. He's won Le Mans. He's had a go at the Indy 500. And it's sort of a shame he's given up on the pursuit of the Triple Crown. in my eyes, I don't think Alonso's going to do too much better than Sebastian Vettel. It's still going to be midfield at best. In fact, he's probably going to match his Alpine, which is obviously an upgrade for Aston Martin. But Lance Stroll's probably not going to be scoring any more points than he is now. So I know this move seems to be celebrated by a lot of people, and a lot of people are saying this is a good move for Aston Martin. It is. Alonso's definitely a talented driver. There's no doubting that. But the names linked to that seat, like Mick Schumacher, with Haas apparently uncertain on his future, he could find himself without a race seat next year. That would be a huge shame. Same goes for Pierre Gasly. A lot of people were linking him to this seat, and it seems to be this desire to get him out of the Red Bull staple, which I can understand. And once again, he's still stuck in an AlphaTauri. And I'm sure there are other names that could be linked to that seat. I knew Nico Hülkenberg was never going to get it. So I can't blame Aston Martin for going for Fernando Alonso. And as I said, I'm very excited to see what we can get out of Oscar Piastri. But I think for both Alpine and Aston Martin, they're going to have an interesting future because they are two very ambitious teams, both gunning for the top. I think this is a bit of a sideways move for Alonso. But we'll have to wait and see till next, we'll have to wait till 2023 rolls around and see where their performances lie and see how long Alonso sticks at Aston Martin. If I had to give a prediction, I would say this is probably going to be a bad move. I think he's going to fall slightly short of his performances in the Alpine. And I think Aston Martin will get frustrated. And I think they're in for a tough few years. But I'm usually wrong. So Fernando Alonso will probably be champion in a couple of years. Or Lance Stroll. So they are my very complicated thoughts on the situation. I am disappointed. I do want to see younger talent come through to F1. I'm sort of sick of these drivers sticking around for so long. Same goes for Daniel Ricciardo, Valtteri Bottas, Lewis Hamilton, and obviously Seb Vettel until he announced his retirement, Fernando Alonso, Sergio Perez even, to be honest. There's 5 or 6 drivers who have been around a long time, and it'd be nice to see them step away so we can start seeing some of the younger guys from Formula 2 start to come up, because there's a lot of talented drivers just waiting there. If you look at the championship this year, Felipe Drugovich, he's leading the way and doing a decent job. He's very good. Theo Porcher is very good. Logan Sargent's been linked with Formula 1. Controversial as it may be, but Yuri Vips is a very good driver. Jehan Daruvula is very good. Dennis Hager, Liam Lawson, plenty of drivers there who could be Formula 1 stars. Frederick Vesti even, he's really good. And even in Formula 3 you can see that the likes of Victor Martins and Isaac Hajar, very talented drivers who could do a job in Formula 1, and so few of them will get a chance. And it's because people like Fernando Alonso stick around forever. I mean, I wouldn't want to see like a maximum limit brought in. If the FIA brought in a rule that said you can only have 10 seasons, then you have to go, I wouldn't be a fan of that. It's nice when a driver does stick around for a very long time, and it has happened a lot in the past, but I feel like it's happening too often now. A lot of drivers outstay their welcome. And I'm not saying you have to change the grid massively every year. I would kind of like drivers to know that they're taking up a race seat, and if they're not performing, there's a time to step away and let someone else have a go. It's always a shame to see younger talent being squashed because Fernando Alonso needs another year in Formula 1. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. There's more motorsport content upcoming, so make sure you stick around. Have a good one.